Hey YouTube, how's it going? KS Emperor here, coming back from sneak peek tournament today for Rokket Revolution. I actually got second place at today's tournament. Really annoyingly, I actually was joint first place and then lost the tiebreaker. So yeah, end up coming second. But yeah, just kind of want to take you through the deck today and just what I thought were some good, useful cards. So just going to start with the main deck. So you got Rocket Tracer here, Silver Rocket, Absolute Dragon, Rocket Synchron, Metal Rocket, Shell Rocket Dragon, and Gateway Dragon. Now these cards today is what I've sort of found the most useful. So just to kind of give you a brief highlight, so Rocket Tracer, it's got a quick effect. So when you target one card that you can target one card you control, destroy it. Then if you do, special summon one rocket monster from your deck. And then for the rest of the turn, you can only special summon dark monsters from your extra deck. So it was a really good effect, especially because from your extra deck you only had dark monsters anyway, and it was a good way to search for your deck for a different card. So most of the time, most people, myself, I was bringing out Silver Rocket Dragon. The reason we're bringing this out was because its effect is actually really good. So when it's targeted by a Link Monsters effect, you can destroy this card instead, and then if you do, you can banish one card from your opponent's extra deck. So it was really good. So people try and use its effect. So target it with like a booster dragon or quad borrower dragon, and then basically like banish like the borrowed dragon from your opponent's extra monster deck or the topologic dragon. So really good effect. And then because it was destroyed by its effect, it special summons another rocket monster at the end phase. And actually a lot of the rocket monsters have that effect, so that was actually really useful. Absolute Dragon. So this was a great card today. So one, it's a free summon if you had a rocket monster on your field. And then two, when it's sent to the graveyard, you can add a rocket monster to your hand. And it was only once per turn, but you could summon this at least a couple of times or bring it out in the next phase. And the reason you could do that was through Rocket Synchron. So if this went to the dragon, you'd search for this. Then your next turn, you could normal summon this and special summon a level 5 or higher dragon monster. So you'd special summon this again. And then when you'd link these off for whichever monster, you could use his effect again. So it was a really good combination. If you bought him out, linked him off, and you bought out Rocket Synchron, then the next turn you could use it. And then you got these three. So the reason I pulled out these three is because a lot of the times my opponent would have like a couple of good strong monsters on the board that you can't target. But these two, what was really good about them is they don't target, then they say just destroy everything in front of them. So Metal Rocket Dragon. So I'll just bring this up. So when a Link Monster's effect is activated and targets a face-up card in the field, you can destroy this card and then destroy your opponent's cards in the column that this card was in. So it was really good. Sometimes I would basically summon this out if I still had like a booster dragon on the field and into a column where I wanted to get rid of some troubling monsters, or if there was a set magic or trap card. Target booster to target this, activates this effect, destroy the column, and then I was kind of free to like bring out a monster that I wanted or just attack and just kind of clear for game. So really good card. And then Shell Rocket's similar. So once again, you target with a link monster, you destroy this card, then destroy a monster in this column. So because it doesn't target, it didn't like, you couldn't counter it with Borrowlord's effect. So it was really good as well, like, because what it does is it destroys something in its column, and then if there's something adjacent, you could destroy that as well. So very good card. So really good way of clearing the board for these two. And then Gateway Dragon was just really good for turn 2. So like if your opponent set up their board and they had a Link monster out, you would special summon this, and this will allow you to special summon a level 4 or lower. So if you had this in your hand and Rocket Tracer, it was just a really good combo. So you special summon this. This will allow you to special summon Rocket Tracer. You could use Rocket Tracer to destroy this and then special summon out another Rocket or Silver Rocket for say. And then you could kind of go from there, which was really good. So yeah, those were kind of like the top cards from the deck today that I used nearly all the time, or especially from the main deck. Well, in terms of monsters. And these probably saw actually the most play today, which is quite cool. Cool. So those are those, so just put that to the side. So other cards in this deck, which I thought were probably pretty good and useful. So Execute Protocols. This was actually pretty cool because it actually helped me survive a game or win a game. So I had this and a couple of Dark Link monsters in my graveyard. So you activate this in your battle phase, and then you banish one Dark Link monster from your graveyard, then target one Borrowed monster that you control, and it will gain its attack to the end phase. So I'd have like a quad Borrowed, which has only got like 1,000 attack, but I had a Booster Dragon and a Borrowed Dragon in my graveyard. So when they attacked me, I just banished the the Booster Dragon, and it gained 99, so 2,900. And then when I attacked for game, I banished the Borrowed, and it had 4,000 attack and went for game. So I thought that was quite cool today, quite a fun little card. Magic Cylinder. This was actually a really good card. I think I actually pulled this as a secret rare when it originally came out. So it was quite fun to play with that again. Red Reboot didn't actually get to use, but got used on me today, so a bit frustrating. Mirror Force and Mirror Force Launcher. So this was actually quite funny. So I was in a position where I had these two and a monster in my hand. I think it was like Background Dragon. I had no way to bring it out. But my opponent had like a full field. So like I activated this, cleared it once, and still had this set. Then he actually managed to rebuild his board through the rocket effects because they got destroyed by an effect. They were able to bring themselves back. And then I was able to get rid of Background Dragon, bring it out and clear it again. And then we were kind of in a bit of a lock for a bit. So, but this was actually a really fun combo to play. Never actually thought I'd use it, but it actually worked out really well. So that was actually a lot of fun. Let's see, other cards that I used. So 0 Day Blaster. So I remember reading this card thinking that I probably wouldn't use it, but actually became really useful and helped me clear the board a couple of times. So just to read its effect, you tribute one Dark Link monster, then target cards on the field equal to its link range and destroy them. So like I used this with Triple Burst Dragon, which is a link 3, and I was able to clear my opponent's board because it basically had 3 cards. And then yeah, I was able to sort of play my cards and go through for game. But yeah, I actually found this is actually really good today, so that was really good. Quick Launch, such a good card. Bring out any rocket monster from your deck, but it can't attack and you destroy it in the end phase. The destroy at the end phase is really good because if you have a rocket monster, like it's fine if it gets destroyed because it just brings it, or it summons another rocket at the end of the end phase anyway. So it's a good effect. Vuk Sector Launch. So I found this card quite good today. So all your rockets as a managed check get a 300 attack and defense. But it also allows you to special summon 2 rocket monsters with different names from your hand. Or if you didn't have them in your hand, you could use the other effect, which was if your opponent had more monsters than you could special summon rockets from your graveyard so you can get up to the same number. So it was a good way to bring out some extra cards. Twin Twister is obviously really good. Ball Regenerator is a good monster reborn, and then when it leaves the field, like you get to draw a card as well. Polymerization I probably didn't use too much. Ball Supply, now this was really good. So I had this and a Borrowed Dragon on the field. So in my standby phase, I'd bring out like a silver rocket, target Borrowed, so destroy itself, and then banish from the thing. And then during my standby phase, I could special summon that silver rocket again. So that combination actually worked really well. And yeah, that's it for the main deck that I thought were like really good cards I used. So if we move on to the extra deck, move that. So you got Topologic Zeroboros. I actually didn't bring this out today. It was more because I kind of think I didn't want all the cards on the field to be banished, because I was like, by the time you bring this out, you would have set a couple of magic cards or something. And I was actually never in a position where I could bring it out. So I want to obviously play with this deck a bit more and try and bring this out more often so I can actually give a better review on that. Boost the Dragon, so this is probably my MVP for today. Really good card, would always target one of my rockets, especially Silver Rocket, to activate its effect and then sort of like remove a monster from my opponent's extra deck. So that was really good. Borrowed Furious Dragon. This was really good and a really good way of clearing boards. So you basically fusion some of this out. You use it as a quick effect. So you'll target one monster you control and then one card your opponent controls and then destroy both. And it was really good. And then you chain it with your own rockets effect. So because it was targeted. Now this is the interesting thing. Because it's not a link monster, you can actually activate a lot of the rockets effects. But some of them had quick effects, so you could use it. So like Rocket Tracers, like you chain it with that, destroy it itself, so you get its search effect at least. But because this just says you target both simultaneously, you could still use his effect. So basically you'd have like the Borrowed Furious, you would have your Rocket Tracer, activate Borrowed Furious, so you target yours and one of your opponent's monsters. But then you chain Chaser's effect, so get it to destroy itself because this has to destroy a card. So then you'd get his special summon effect, and then you get to use his effect of destroying your opponent's card, and then you'd end up with another rocket on the field. So it's a really good effect, and then like in your opponent's turn, because quick effect, so you could do the same thing. So it was a really good sort of combination of way of using that card. Cool. And then Quad Borrow Dragon. So this actually won me a couple of games. Just because you discard one card, you can destroy one card on the field. And then that with the trap card, which you activate during your opponent's battle phase and banish some Dark Link monsters, it gained the attack. So this was actually a really good card as well. Bowler Dragon is Bowler Dragon. Everyone knows what they're doing. And Triple Burst. Triple Burst Dragon was actually really good today, just because I think some people stalled a lot and sort of didn't understand how to use the deck. And you keep Triple Burst out because it had piercing damage, and it was a really good way of just destroying your opponent's board and getting rid of their monsters, so they had literally nothing to play with in the next turn. So yeah, so that's the deck. Write in the comments, tell me what you think. I'm going to try and build a deck from this using 3 structure decks. Yeah, so don't forget to subscribe so you can see the new videos. And thank you very much for watching. Take care.